Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the latest pretty seismic shifts happening in artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
It really is.
Yeah.
We've pulled together quite a stack of sources, earnings calls, market reports, even some wild stuff found online.
Yeah, okay.
And we're going to distill the key things for you, the mission today. Unravel how AI is changing things, like how you might see ads, how big companies are placing huge bets, and some surprising privacy issues popping up.
Exactly. And the pace, it's not just theory anymore. It's translating directly into new business models, fierce competition between the big tech players. And what's really key, I think, is understanding how these tech leaps actually affect individuals, affect you.
Right.
So today, we'll try to connect those dots, give you that bigger picture beyond just the headlines.
Okay, let's start with Amazon. They're making a really bold move, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Well, the CEO, Andy Jassy, he's basically laid out this vision for ads within conversations on Alexa Plus.
Within.
Yeah.
Like actually in the dialogue.
Yeah, multi-turn conversations. You ask something, it answers. You ask more, and boom, an ad kind of woven in.
Okay.
That's different.
It is. And Alexa Plus, that's their, their generative AI model, their answer to OpenAI, Google.
Right. It's supposed to be more natural, handle complex stuff, that whole agentic behavior idea.
Exactly. And right now it's what, free for Prime members or $20 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
Jesse's even hinted at maybe other tiers later, perhaps an ad-free one. But it's a big pivot. Ads on Alexa now are pretty tame, right? A visual, maybe some audio between songs.
Yeah, very limited. But AI ads in a conversation, that really is new territory.
Completely.
And it's fascinating because it's uncharted, not just for Amazon, but like the whole industry. Marketers, they're interested, sure. But how do you make that work?
Right, without being incredibly annoying.
Exactly. How do you make AI-generated conversational ads feel?
Okay.
Yeah.
It blurs that line, doesn't it? Between
Yeah.
helpful assistant and, well, commercial break.
Yeah.
And it sets a precedent. If Amazon does this, others might follow. I mean, Google's looking at AI and search and ads. Sam Altman at OpenAI has talked about tasteful ads in ChatGPT. Everyone's sniffing around this.
And you see why Amazon's pushing. When you look at the money, they are spending a fortune on AI.
Yeah.
Capital expenditures, Q2 2025, $31.4 billion. That's up 90% year over year.
90, wow.
And a massive chunk is AI, their own chips, data centers, all of it. So even though AWS, their cloud business, is growing, well, like 18%,
Still strong, yeah.
they clearly need new ways to make money to justify that kind of spending. Jassy's openly betting that if people use Alexa Plus more, that drives ad revenue and shopping.
But that brings up some big hurdles, right?
For sure.
First, hallucinations. AI making stuff up. Can you imagine it serving false advertising? That's a nightmare.
Total nightmare for brands, for users.
Yeah.
Trust goes out the window.
And second, maybe even bigger, privacy. People talk to these new AIs differently, right? Longer conversations, more back and forth.
More engagement.
Which means the AI collects way more data. How are people going to feel about that data being used for ads? Or just having ads pop up in what feels like a private chat?
It's a really tricky balance.
It is. And maybe that's why some early Alexa Plus reviews were a bit mixed. Reports of struggles with the complicated features.
Could be. But despite those challenges, Amazon's clearly going for it. Their current ad business is already huge.
Yeah, it's booming.
Ad revenue was up 22% last quarter compared to last year. So this isn't just a side project. It's doubling down on a core moneymaker.
Right. Expanding the strength.
Okay, now switching gears a bit. Let's look at the enterprise side. Business use of AI. We found something really quite surprising here.
Okay.
There's been a major shift, like a really big one, in which large language models businesses prefer, according to a new report from Menlo Ventures, Anthropic. Their models are now #1 for enterprise usage.
Anthropic, ahead of OpenAI.
Anthropic's got 32% market share by usage. OpenAI is down to 25%.
Wow. Okay, if you zoom out, that's a huge reversal. Because just what, 2023? OpenAI had like 50% of that market.
Yeah.
Anthropic was way back at 12%. So that's a massive swing. Google's grown a bit too, I gather.
Seems so.
And what's really interesting is where Anthropic is strong. Enterprise coding, they have 42% share there.
Double OpenAI.
More than double OpenAI's 21%. So why the surge? It seems mostly down to their Claude 3.5 Sonnet model from last June.
Right, that got good reviews.
And then boosted again by 3.7 Sonnet this February.
Yeah.
It suggests maybe businesses are getting more specific, Looking for the best model for a particular job, like coding, not just the biggest name.
That makes sense. And honestly, that data, it lines up with a lot of the chatter we've been hearing. Developers talking quietly about preferring Claude for work stuff.
Right, even while OpenAI still dominates the consumer side. What was that stat? 2.5 billion prompts a day to ChatGPT.
Just staggering numbers on the consumer front.
Absolutely. But that consumer love doesn't automatically mean enterprise dominance. And the report also shows something else interesting.
What's that?
Businesses seem to prefer closed models, like Anthropic's and OpenAI's, over open source.
Really?
Yeah, more than half the companies surveyed said they don't use open source models at all. And usage of open source for daily work actually dropped from 19% early in the year to just 13% mid-year.
Huh. That kind of challenges the narrative, doesn't it, that everyone wants open source?
It does, at least in enterprise, where maybe things like reliability and support matter more, although Meta is still the big player in the open source space itself.
Gotcha. Okay, let's shift again. Let's talk privacy, specifically with public AI interactions.
Okay.
There was this open AI experiment, pretty fascinating, that they've now kind of quietly shut down.
The shared chats being indexed.
Exactly. For a while, if you publicly shared a ChatGPT conversation and you had to deliberately click share, then
Really?
create link, then toggle on discoverable.
Well, it wasn't automatic.
No. But if you did all that, your chat on those share URLs could get indexed by Google, Bing, etc.
And people found some interesting things.
Oh, yeah. A real mixed bag. Resume rewrites, sure, but also questions that look like they came from some pretty weird online forums. And my personal favorite, a guide titled, How to Use a Microwave Without Summoning Satan.
Huh. Okay, I need to read that one. But the key thing is OpenAI pulled it back.
They did.
Their reason was basically it created too many ways for people to accidentally share stuff they didn't mean to.
Makes sense.
And Google's position is pretty standard. They index what's public, but the publisher controls what's indexable, in this case, OpenAI.
Right.
It just shows how fast things move and how quickly unintended consequences pop up. Companies have to react fast.
Definitely. And that microwave Satan guide, that really highlights the point for listeners, doesn't it?
How so?
Just how easy it could be to accidentally reveal personal stuff when you share AI chats, even if you think you're being careful. It's like a whole new area of digital privacy we need to think about.
Absolutely. New etiquette needed.
And speaking of companies using data, let's look at Reddit.
Ah, Reddit. Always interesting.
They just had great Q2 earnings, mostly driven by ads, actually. 93% of their revenue. $465 million.
Wow, ads are huge for them.
Massive. And they're leaning into AI for those ads, tools like Reddit Insights.
Using all that user data to spot trends for advertisers.
Exactly. Billions of posts and comments. And they have these conversation summary add-ons too, letting advertisers pull actual user discussion snippets into their ads.
Desiree.
Yeah. But here's the other piece. Their other revenue category is growing fast.
Which includes?
The data licensing.
Yeah.
Selling access to all that Reddit content to AI companies. Google, OpenAI.
Right, for training their models.
That part jumped 24% year over year. It's $35 million now. Still smaller than ads, but the long-term potential there seems really significant.
Definitely. That user data is incredibly valuable for AI training. It's a really smart, potentially growing income stream for them. And they're also using AI themselves, right, with that Reddit Answers tool.
Oh, yeah. The thing's taken off, gives conversational answers, uses their data, grown from like 1 million to 6 million weekly users.
Huge growth.
And they plan to integrate it even more deeply into their search.
Makes sense. Leverage that unique content they have.
So, okay, let's try and wrap this all up. What have we seen today?
Well, it's clear AI isn't just coming. It's fundamentally reshaping things now.
Yeah.
How we interact with products, with services.
Right, and it's driving absolutely massive investment from the tech giants.
Yeah.
Billions and billions.
Leading to totally new business models, often built on data, your data, our data.
Which creates these huge opportunities, but also, as we saw, some really complex challenges. Privacy, trust.
Exactly. So what does it all mean for you listening? I think it just underscores how fast this AI landscape is evolving.
Yeah, you blink and something changes.
Right. And it's important to grasp the forces driving it all, the corporate strategies, the money, the tech race, but also the real impact on individuals, on privacy.
Yeah. And maybe the final thought to leave people with is, as AI gets woven deeper into our lives, into our conversations, where does that line go?
The line between personal interaction and commercial engagement.
Exactly. How does that continue to blur? And what kind of new rules, new norms do we need to figure out to make sure this future is, intelligent but also ethical?
That's the big question, isn't it? Lots to think about.